Hello, Bryce Tubbs here. I'm going to be talking about best marketing for CPA firms, basically how to create your dream firm. Now, this is a it's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, especially because I got started with my accounting and bookkeeping firm about 7 years ago. And when I was getting started, like there was not really any information about how to do that. Everything was more about like how to go and basically be an in-house like bookkeeper or basically go and work for somebody else. It wasn't really about like freelancing or starting your own business with this, especially online. So I just make a lot of content for that. And in addition to running my accounting firm, I coach and mentor other accountants and bookkeepers to be able to go and grow their business to the multi-six-figure level. So if you want some help doing that, if you want to be able to grow your business really, really quickly without making a lot of the pitfalls and mistakes that most people make, including myself when growing their firm, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description either above or below the video. I'd love to be able to schedule time with you to see if I can help you out and if it makes sense to work together long term to really reach your business goals. And anyways, so let's kind of jump into this. Okay, so when starting to do marketing, a lot of people are looking for very, very, very complicated methods. And while I can give you complicated methods like email marketing, Facebook advertising, Google My Business, today I just want to talk about three very, very simple methods to go and get clients. And it's going to be at varying levels. So we're going to have like different phases. So the first is like the traction phase when you're basically just launching, just getting started. Maybe you're at zero, maybe one client, two client, three client, maybe you're at about like 1,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Now the next stage can be about 5,000 to about 9 to 10,000, then $10,000 plus. For most people watching, if you want more content about how to go and get from 10,000 to about 30,000 or 10,000 to 50,000, go ahead and write inside the comments scale, and I'll make some more videos about that because that's part of what our mastermind program takes care of. It generally takes people who are already at like $10,000 a month and gets them to closer to between 30 to 50, whatever their goal is. Some people don't want to get to $50,000 a month. Some people only want to get to about 25,000 a month. So whatever your goal is, it can help you. Now, let's say that you're in that beginner stage. So when you're trying to gain some traction, when you're trying to go and build that initial momentum, the number one thing that most people don't do, especially if they're accountants or bookkeepers, is go to past relationships. So I always tell this to most new students when they go in the program. Like even students who have been doing this for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, and they haven't really gotten clients, or they've been kind of struggling, or the results are kind of lackluster. Have you gone through your initial relationships, all your past bosses, all of your past employers, all of your past contacts? If you've ever been in front of like a consultant, if you ever spoke to a lawyer, if you ever spoke to another CPA, if you ever spoke to a bookkeeper, if you've ever been to a doctor's office, if you've ever been to a dental practice, like you have to go and just really do like almost like a network map. So with you in the center, and then just look at all these different people. Like you have to do this first. Now, most people actually don't do this. For example, like I told Lene, she was one of my past students in the six-figure firm mentorship program, like, hey, have you actually spoken to this person? Like we looked through her LinkedIn and it says this person owns a business. She goes, oh no, I forgot about him. She went and talked to him, and within 3 days, the guy was paying her about $600 a month. Okay, the next day, next time we had our coaching calls, okay, cool. So let's go look through your LinkedIn again. Have you spoken to this person? Oh, no, I didn't. And we just kept finding stuff like that, just kept finding just different people inside. And it wasn't like she had to learn a bunch of skills, she had to learn any new marketing. It was just she had to really wring out the sponge slash towel of all the different opportunities that were there that she just wasn't taking advantage of. And most business owners do this like when they're first starting, like insurance agents generally do this, real estate agents generally do this. Who's another good example? Financial advisors generally do this, but for some reason, when we're in that like B2B space where we're working with business owners, like for accountants, CPAs, and bookkeepers, they generally don't think about their past network first. And it's very, very kind of ironic because a lot of people like that's where they get their first client. But then in our industry, we generally get it from like strangers or we're trying to kind of go outwards first. Um, and in some cases, that can be because, a lot of us don't really think about building friends when we're in corporate America, or even when we're working for the public firm. But you really have to start thinking about it, like who in my network can give me clients at all times. As long as you focus on that, who in my network is a potential lead or is a potential referral source, it's going to make it very easy for you to start gaining that traction and start getting more to like 5 grand, 6 grand, 7 grand a month. Most people have about an extra 30 to $40,000 sitting inside of their network, especially if you've been in the same like accounting field for like 10, 15, 20 years. You have probably about 50 to $60,000 worth of monthly recurring revenue just sitting inside of your network. You just haven't learned how to properly tap into that. Now, number two, okay, we have to start talking about partnerships. So, partnership is the fastest way to go once you have some traction and you're trying to get to about $20,000 per month. Okay, it's the easiest way to go from like, 5 grand to 20 grand. It's harder for you to go from zero to about five using partnerships. And the reason why is because if you have a partnership, generally you have to first do two sales. First, to sell the partner on actually sending you referrals. Then you have to actually do a second sale for each referral that comes in. You actually have to talk to them and see if they want to work with you. Now, if you're at zero and you don't really know how to do sales properly, or if you are undercharging because you don't really know how to speak about the value of your work, you don't really know how to get them interested in paying you a higher rate, and the monthly rate they're trying to pay you is very low, or they only come into you looking for like a tax return, then what that basically means is you have to kind of go back to that first stage and really start developing your sales skills. That's something we really cover very, very deeply inside of my program is the sales skills. So you can start taking advantage of this. For example, like JT, every single year from one referral partner, he gets about $50,000 per year in new revenue. That's monthly revenue, just keeps repeating, 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 repeating. And the reason why is because the partner that he has is it's like a business consultant, and every single year, she's throwing money into advertising for her business. So every single time that her business grows, she gets new people who eventually need JT's service. And JT does like just a speaking event. It's basically like a live video inside of the person's client community about once a quarter. And on that video, it's just a simple call to action. It's like, hey, if you want some help and you think that I'm the person to help you, go ahead and click on this link to book a call to speak with me. Okay, that's actually a kind of cool little marketing tip I just gave you inside of partnerships is you can actually do speaking events and show off your expertise and then get people to book a call with you. Now, another reason why partnerships are really cool is because partnerships have a bunch of different marketing channels built into them. Number one, you can do a speaking event. Number two, they can just give you a straight referral. Number three, you can actually hack into their email list and get them to give you their emails. So, for example, for JT, whenever he does a speaking event once a quarter, he asks the person who is hosting the event, hey, can you please send me the email list of everyone who was registered to attend? And she does. And then he emails each one of them personally and just asks if they want to hop on a call. And the reply rate and the call booking rate is very, very high from those events. So he's able to just keep doing that. And all he has to do is just do like one event every single quarter. It's just such easy money. It's just that most people they struggle when it comes to referrals and relationships like this if they don't know how to close and they don't know how to get people to pay for their higher package like their 750 a month package or $1,000 a month, $2,000, $3,000 a month package. If you're still at the stage, even if you're a CPA and you're having trouble selling people for more than about $500 per month, right? Then partnerships can be a little bit more challenging because you're still going to get all these like lower quality leads that are coming to you and that are not really looking to pay your higher rates. I remember, for example, we had to do with like Florence. So when Florence was getting started, like she hadn't gotten a client. So the first thing we had to do, we had to do a lot of sales practice. And I generally give you guys what's called the six-figure sales flow. It's just a list of questions and directions and check boxes that you need to hit in the other person's mind in order for them to feel confident and clear about paying you, an above average amount of money. And once you've done that accurately, then the business owners feel really, really good about working with you because you, one, come across an expert, two, you're speaking in language patterns they can actually understand, and three, there's a very easy way for you to ask clarifying questions at the end to make sure that they feel comfortable about your service and your price. And it's a very easy, just they sign it and they're ready to go. Now, when she did this, the first thing we had to do was give her that script. And then we had to give her more of like confidence boosting activities to make sure that she knew exactly how to charge and exactly like what to do. I also gave her a pricing calculator so she knew exactly like how much the work was worth. So when she actually went into the meeting, I was like, okay, cool. So go speak to this partner. They have a lot of work. We can just tell that based on our initial conversations with them. She did, and the person ends up giving her about $6,000 in monthly clients every single month, just from that. And it just came from first she had to have her foundations ready of pricing and her foundations with sales, and then she could focus on the marketing to be able to go and get bigger clients really, really easy. And that's basically how that goes with partnerships. Now, the third thing is going to be about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is an extremely versatile tool. LinkedIn in general can be utilized in a lot of different ways. One, it can be used to get referral partners. Two, it can be used to go through past relationships. Three, it can be used to actually have inbound leads coming to you. 4 can be used to really connect with your current clients or past clients, friends. And 5, it can be used to build like a cold network of total strangers who are in need of your service based on different criteria that you can kind of set up over time if you know how to use the platform correctly. Now, I personally love LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I'm even 7 years later, I'm still learning things about LinkedIn that I would never have imagined that you could do. Now, the reason why this is also very, very cool is because you can actually hand it off to your virtual assistant or to someone else inside of your organization who can start doing some of the messaging and relationship building with you. Now, inside of my program, I actually train the students on how to actually hire a virtual assistant so that someone else can manage either their business LinkedIn, or if they want, even their personal LinkedIn account, so that they can like go and build those friendships, build those relationships, and start booking calls. For example, like who's a good example of that? Like Audrey booked what, 7 calls in the beginning of this year in 1 week off of like just sending a messaging script that I gave to her virtual assistant. It was very, very straightforward, very, very simple. It didn't take a lot of brain power, but it's very easy for you to start booking calls, especially if you can get qualified business owners to even accept your connection request. And then once you have that network, once you have kind of that just lead source of all those different business owners, and you're constantly coming and meeting them and getting to know a little bit more about them, building that trust, then it's a very simple call to action when they're ready for you to be able to get them on the phone and then just charge them, $1,000 a month, 2,000, 3,000 a month. Very, very simple. Now, the other cool thing about LinkedIn is that if you already have like employees or contractors that are doing the day-to-day with you, each of them can have a LinkedIn account and you can do the same exact strategy times. Let's say if you have like five employees or 5 contractors plus you, that is 6 people's worth of connection that you can go and build with the cold market and really be able to dominate your local area, especially if you have individual LinkedIn pages and each one of them says that they're working for your company. That's 6 times the chances that you can actually be utilizing their LinkedIn accounts properly to go and get leads for your business, especially if you're really good at connecting with the local area. For example, like Eileen got 8 clients last January from using her LinkedIn inside of her local area in order to make introductions. So she would just connect with business owners that she was either interested in working with, or she had been like to their establishment. For example, she got like a cafe to want to work with her. She got a bakery to want to work with her. She got a solar company to want to work with her. And it was all from just going on LinkedIn, being like, oh, I know this place. Oh, cool. Who's the owner? Okay, let's connect with the owner. Let's build this rapport. Let's build this relationship. And again, I give you guys like actual templates of what to say and different scenarios to actually use the templates in so that it feels very natural. It feels like you're, just coming up with it on the spot. And it's very simple for the business owner to be like, okay, I like this person. I resonate with this person. I understand what this person's about. And they're like, hey, how can you help me out? And from there, it's just a simple call to action. It's like, hey, let's hop on the phone call. And then you just go through the script that I generally give you guys, and then you're closing between 50 to 80% at your higher ticket price point. At least that's what my students are averaging. They're averaging between 50 to 80% of the people they speak to on their targeting consultations actually sign up at their price point. So very simple once you get this kind of flow going. Now, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I gave you like some pretty simple things to go and implement right now. Okay, past relationships, partnerships, and learning how to utilize LinkedIn Sales Navigator. To be completely honest, those 3 things are the only 3 marketing channels that I use to go and get up to the 6-figure levels when I was first getting started. Nowadays, I show my students how to do like Instagram, email marketing, and different kind of like in-person types of techniques. But if I had no money, I only had 30 days to go and start making revenue. If I cut off all my hands and my fingers, like that's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd be doing if I needed money. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you got something out of this. Now, if you want some help going and growing your business from someone who's been where you're trying to go ahead and click on the link inside the description either above or below the video. I'd love to talk to you on the call. On the call, what we're basically going to do is say, hey, where are you right now? What's really stopping you? What's really holding you back? Where are the opportunities that I'm seeing that we're kind of, missing out on? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, okay, so cool. So knowing what you're doing right now, this is actually the step and this is the path that you're on. What do you actually want to go towards? Like, what do you want this vision to be like? Do you want to have a certain number of contractors? Do you want to be a one-man army? Do you want to be able to work 10 days out of the month and relax for the rest? Like, what does this look like for you? Then once we have a clear picture for that, I'm going to say, okay, cool. This is the steps we need to do in order to go and actually accomplish that. And if it makes sense, let's work together to do this inside of the program. If that's something that you think will have value for you, and that's something that you think is going to actually help you win the game and win the battle and actually get the business you want, go ahead and click on the link either above or below the video. I'd love to see you on the call. If you're not quite ready for that, that's okay too. No harm, no foul. I'll see you on the next video. Keep watching, keep taking some nuggets, keep learning, keep implementing the stuff I'm talking about. And when you're ready, let's book a call and let's talk soon. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.